because the woman I loved expected me to be the wizard, and there was no way I was going to go out and be less than all I could be that day. I was going to deliver. One of the things that we decided early on, okay, is that we would never quit on the same day, okay?
That sounds silly, doesn't it? But if you were quitting, it was a decision we made that I would...
You would stand up strong.
Absolutely, and vice versa.
And vice versa. If you were feeling weak and like, oh, I don't think we should do this, I would stand up strong and say, no, we decided.
Exactly.
And all of that, you know, when you look at it, those little decisions daily is what compounded over time to create something that we really never thought possible in the beginning. It wasn't that we didn't think it was possible, it just never came to our mind that we would ever have a business like we have today. Along the way, there have been a lot of people that have asked us, how did you do it? How did you do it? The people right here today asking us, how did you do it? And I know we've given them advice about it's not easy, but it's worth it. And you've talked to partners about what they can do and how they should feel. And I know that somebody here right now is probably wondering, what can I do?
You know, Art Williams told us that he believed God first, family second, business third. And if someone's off balance, I always feel like they're off balance with their spiritual world and who they believe in. I also feel like they're off balance where communication is concerned. What we've tried to always do is communicate.
Right.
And I really think that if any channels were closed between us ever, it was just a matter of communication. So we have always been very active communicators.
That's right.
Sometimes we don't agree, but then again, when we don't agree, putting the anger away. Just realizing that we're different and we have different thoughts. And then you always apologize first.
Of course.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah. And then you find out I was right anyway.
Well, yeah, I do, but I don't always admit it.
No, of course not. But you don't need to because the discovery is obvious, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, and part of that...
And you apologize to me.
Of course. And sometimes I apologize for being right. What are you going to do, right?
But when someone apologizes, when you apologize, it
diffuses.
Just puts, it totally puts, just
what
goes
do I do
out.
now?
There's no fight.
Yeah.
And also, women like to be apologized to. So it just works. You're very smart in the way you treat our relationship. You treat me like a queen. How could I not love you or love being with you?
Yeah, and what do queens do with their kings? They treat them like a king, right?
That's right.
So what comes first, the chicken or the egg? It doesn't really matter who comes first as long as we both go together. And that really is it. And people say, well, how do you do that communication? Let me give everybody an advice. God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. So if you listen, you'll discover what it's going to take to get on the same page. You've got to start with listening. And what you'll find out is you're never 100% right or 100% wrong about any one subject. There's always a way for everybody to get their way.
It's been several months ago that I was not feeling strong in my faith. And Moses is behind me on the mantle. And I took him down and I put him right on the kitchen table. And Gary goes, it was
you moved Moses.
I said, moved him closer to me so that I just feel more powerful when he's closer. And the only reason I put him back was, and he's been there for years and years, but I put him back because we were having guests and he was in the way of the table, setting the table. But I've always done things and surrounded myself with things that boost me so I could be better for you and for the team. And if I'm not healthy, then there's no way I can help them. That's part of the Think and Grow Rich. The success system is greed, envy. There's no room for that.
That's exactly right. And in that process, I believe that 2 people that are united on a common goal and in love with each other, 1 + 1 is not 2. You're 11 times more powerful
That's true.
when you're united together, moving in a common direction. And that was our choice really from the beginning, if it was going to be up to us, that we were going to do this together. And that's not always an easy decision, but it's proved for us to be a very worth it decision.
If there's a couple and they're strong together and committed to each other, and one's in the game and one isn't, I always feel like that's just a communication issue, and I would be nothing without you. And so when you're a team or a marriage, there's no way possible that you can win without the other one. I just talked to a female the other day, and I just told her, until you get in the game, he's never going to be as good as he could possibly be. And I mean that.
That's right.
I just know that if you're united we stand, divided we fall.
It's as simple as you said before. You would say to me when I was on my way to an appointment, you would say, "You're off to be the wizard," or "You are the wizard." And I would say, "I'm off to be the wizard." And that little, people think, well, that's nothing. Oh, that's not true. It's everything, because it caused me to know, first of all, to know you believed in me, even though it was a phrase that had become almost automatic and expected. When I heard it, it made me feel more powerful, and it also instilled in me a sense of responsibility, because the woman I loved expected me to be the wizard, and there was no way I was going to go out and be less than all I could be that day. I was going to deliver.